backed by Kobe Bryant and Chucky Atkins, who continues to play well. Meantime, it's Reggie Miller and Anthony Johnson for the still injured Jamal Tinsley in the Indiana backcourt. Jermaine O'Neal as well, injured on the injured list with his banged up shoulder a couple of weeks ago. Jim Gray joins us on the broadcast tonight. Jim will visit with Jermaine a little bit later on. Well, of course, Kobe and the Lakers played in Miami last night and lost. This is the final game of a 6-game road trip. They're 2-3. They start the night on the outside looking in 9th in the Western Conference playoff chase. The Pacers start in the 7th spot in the East. Just a game back in the loss column from Chicago. They could end up 6th. Reggie Miller starts the night with a deuce.
You know, just looking at the Pacers out on the court, it's like retro night. Not retro uniforms, retro players. Reggie, Dale Davis back in the lineup. You got like the old school players back here.
Kobe makes that first shot. As you've seen, Kobe shooting over 50% from the field in the last 3 games in the first half, with just 3 of 28 in the second half. Only 1 make in the loss at Miami last night, 102-89.
Well, 2 guys are going to have to score for the Pacers. That's not something you see very often.
Reggie the air.
Reggie Miller's going to have to score some, and Steven Jackson's going to have to score some. Steven Jackson has been putting up a lot of numbers. A lot of times it takes him a lot of shots to do it, but they're going to have to get 20, 25 points from Steven Jackson right around there from Reggie Miller tonight.
Off the Chris Mim miss. Anthony Johnson brings it back the other way. Out of the college at Charleston, he misses. Johnson has been freed up to shoot a little bit more now that he has become the full-time point guard with the injury to Tinsley.
Well, neither of these teams are very good shooting teams. You know, they just, nice shot by Atkins, but when you get them in a half-court set, you know, they just don't shoot the ball that way, around 43, 44% for the year. I'll be interested to see what type of tempo the Pacers want to play with. I wouldn't be surprised if they try to get up and down the court a little bit tonight, being that they are at home, and try to get the crowd into it.
Jeff Foster on the pick and roll, couldn't convert. And Tom, the Lakers on the end of a really brutal back-to-back. Miami to Indiana, it's a heck of a trip. Lakers getting at about 3:45 this morning. No shoot around, and back at it tonight. As Karan Butler is short, this has not been a pretty start.
Yeah, Mike, those chartered flights and shrimp cocktails are tough. I tell you, I hated when I had to take those.
Jackson converts to tie the game at 4. No, seriously.
No, I'm being serious.
Fourth game in 5 nights is tough.
It's tough, but I mean, the travel to me is always a little overblown. But I mean, I'm always speaking from personal experience. When you don't have to wake up in the morning and catch a commercial flight, and you get the charter flight at the end, it's not that bad.
Johnson in transition to Jackson. Nice attack of the 10 by the 5th-year man, Steven Jackson. And the Pacers take the lead 6-4. Around Butler and Lamar Odom, they had the return back to Miami last night. Butler off the mark, Bryant the rebound. And Chucky Atkins steps into a triple. Love Chucky Atkins, undrafted, always just fighting for his little piece of the earth. And he has 5, the Lakers 7.
He's been pretty consistent this year hitting spot up threes. I mean, he usually tries to find that line, and a lot of times it's Lamar Odom drawing double teams or Kobe drawing double teams, and he can keep the defense honest.
Jeff Foster attacks the rim. Jeff has played well along with Dale Davis in this absence of Jermaine O'Neal, needing to step up. Never going to give you a gazillion points tonight. Chris Mim, 1 point in 15 minutes last night, continuing to struggle on this road trip.
Wow.
That deserved a wow, I guess.
Yeah, that was woof.
Reggie, that's a 2. Toe on the tape.
I mean, just one of the greatest shooters, purest shooters ever to play, and doesn't need a lot of space to get it off, and to create space sometimes, you know, he'll use that little fadeaway. But that's a tough shot for 22.
Mim inside, sees the 2 bigs, and Dale Davis fouled him. Joey Crawford, crew chief tonight, along with Ronald Esiak and Louis Grillo, our officials.
You can see the nice pass right here, drawing the defense in and just getting up over the defense. And that's what I'm talking about right there. I mean, that's decent defense, not right in his jock, but right there on the shooting hand, and just the concentration to be able to put that one in. You know, I'll be interested to find out, as far as the Lakers are concerned tonight, how deep they're going to go on that bench, because it has been a long road trip, and some guys have been logging some minutes, and I think you may go down a little bit deeper in the bench than you're used to tonight if you're Coach Frank Hamlin, just because you've been on such a long road trip.
Mim, that nice shooting touch makes it a 10-9 game. Bench did not give them much last night in the loss at Miami. Brian Grant gave him 8 points and 5 boards. Brian Cook hit 3 threes in the fourth quarter. 10, that was it. Off the bench for LA in the loss to Miami. Reggie for a third field goal tonight. Indiana's opened 6 for 9, and all 6 field goals have been assisted, 4 by the point guard Anthony Johnson.
Has Reggie hit the rim tonight? Like 3 swishes and an air ball?
And an air ball. Atkins over Johnson. Chucky averaging 14 a game.
That's a pull right there.
By Jackson. Here comes Lamar Odom, who's matched up with Jeff Foster on this end. See if he tries to take advantage of that at any point. Certainly quicker to the basket.
Well, I'm talking to Coach Hamlin before the game. He would love to see Lamar Odom get between 15 and 17 shots a game. Be more aggressive. Try to take the ball to the hole. He told us he's so unselfish that he wants to lay it off to players and get them involved, but he's such a skilled player that sometimes he needs to take over, and he certainly has that ability.
The last foul was on Reggie, who was bumped off on that screen to get Kobe free, but Bryant missed the jumper, and back comes Indiana. 32 and 31. They've won 3 of their last 4. In 4th place in the Central, knocking on the Chicago door. With Cleveland and Detroit ahead. Reggie fouled by Kobe.
That was very cool. And Reggie Miller was trying to run a curl off the weak side screen. And just to watch what he did and how he kind of suckered Kobe. Watch the way he didn't get a chance to see it. He was going around the screen, stopped and came back up the middle where Kobe did not expect him to be. Ended up getting off the shot and going to the free throw line. I mean, he probably uses screens as well as anybody that I've seen play or played against. Just always constant motion, but not motion. Some players, constant motion, but it's stupid motion. You're just kind of going around in circles and not doing a whole heck of a lot. He knows what he's doing. You go over a screen, he fades. You curl, you go with him, he curls. I mean, he's always thinking one step ahead of you.
Career 89% shooter, playing for Rick Carlisle. 6,129 made free throws. That is 11th in the history of the NBA. He's got some amazing numbers as his long career, 18 years in all, wraps up. Kobe on the mismatch and the switch. Mim couldn't catch and turned it over. Quick push. Reggie faking, taking. And Kobe took a shot in the mouth in the process, and Reggie over there to check him out right away. It was accidental, but it still hurts. 2 on Kobe.
Well, Mike, you don't get to the free throw line without knowing how to draw fouls. And he certainly knows how to draw fouls. Elbows are out. If you get a piece of him, he can offensively flop as well as the best of them. And he can get himself, he knows how to get himself to the free throw line.
Well, you need Kobe Bryant if you're the Lakers, and you talked about that. The guys in the studio were talking about that on shoot-around. So here you are in a very important game halfway through the first. Kobe took an elbow to the jaw, has 2 fouls on him, and he's going to come out here halfway through the quarter as Jermaine Jones comes in. So
Thanks
the Lakers,
for coming.
yeah, the Lakers, challenged as it is, will be even more so. And Reggie has 10 of the Pacers' 16.
Well, now this is a time when you'll usually see Lamar Odom kind of take over.
Yep.
Get the ball, make some moves, try to get to the free throw line, isolate Jeff Foster, and see if he can go.
Good job by Foster, but he does pick up the foul. And that will be his first.
He's a tough cover because he's so big. He can shoot it out to the three-point line. He can put it on the ground. And I've always marveled at, his skill set. Because for a guy that big, he can do a lot of things. Just isn't always the most aggressive player out on the court. Now with Kobe out, he's going to have to be aggressive. And in case you're wondering what the schedule is upcoming on the NBA, ESPN Sunday, Houston at Minnesota. The disappointing Timberwolves. NBA TV on Monday, the Atlanta Hawks That's a big one. At the Chicago Bulls and on TNT next Tuesday. Detroit and Cleveland, followed by Miami and Houston.
Tom, those are supposed to come during the free throws, not during the next possession. But a very fine attempt.
You handed me the card.
Dale,
nothing to do with it.
Dale Davis, watched by Mim, 5 to shoot. Job security, not a problem in this seat tonight. Johnson, a 3. Davis hustles for the board, but Karam Butler keeps it alive and gets it to Odom. Let's watch if they get in a half court here if Lamar tries to take over. Atkins takes it to the rim. Davis comes away with the rebound for Indiana.
Oh, nice D.
Jackson all the way. Foul by Lamar Odom on the way through. So free throws coming for Jackson after this timeout. A little bit of a Laker worry early on. A game they need to stay over 500. Kobe has 2 fouls, both drawn by the ageless Reggie Miller, who has 10 early. So the Pacers on top by 3. Oh, the moments over the years for Reggie Miller, especially against the Knicks at the '94 NBA playoffs when Reggie hit the big shots and started the conversation with Spike Lee, extending out distance and that memorable moment with Reggie and Spike. And then '95, don't look for our studio colleague Greg Anthony, fouled by Reggie as he was knocked down. Reggie steps back and triples as the Pacers come up with one of the more dramatic moments in the playoffs in that Madison Square Garden. Notice the reporter running into the top of the screen there was Jim Gray, by the way, covered that game. Look at Reggie's numbers. 8th in games, 13th in points, all-time leader in threes made, threes attempted, and 7th in free throw percentage over this amazing career.
Well, like I said earlier, I think when people will look back on his career, they will remember the clutch shots that he made, and it wasn't just a few. It was many clutch shots. And the thing that's impressive about it is when everybody knows you're going to get the ball, you still get the ball, and you still manage to get that shot off and make that shot. That's impressive. And he did it time after time after time after time. And to be able to play your whole career with one team, pretty impressive stuff.
Later on, we'll show you the chronology relative to the rest of the sports world currently of Reggie being with one team. Meantime, the Lakers continue to struggle. 4 of 12 from the field. This is the Pacers' largest lead at 5. Indiana coming off a win here on Wednesday night against Utah, 103-84. Reggie goes window, which you don't see very often, to get to a dozen.
Although having gone to UCLA, you'd think he'd use the window a little bit more. That was in Bill Walton's day. The coach wouldn't. You think the Lakers might kind of figure it out, too, that they need Reggie to score tonight to win and maybe take him away.
They started Kobe defensively on Reggie, and Bryant picked up the 2 fouls. Odom over Foster, the weak side rebound for Butler.
Butler can't buy a bucket.
Dale Davis comes away with it at age 36 next week. Jackson another pull of a 3. Foster unable to keep it alive, and it will be Laker ball. Here is the aforementioned Jim Gray. Jim?
Mike, good to be with you. I spoke to Rick Carlisle before the game. He said it's been such an unusual year with everything that has gone on. He said there's not any way to put this into any kind of perspective. He said, I got to give our players an awful lot of credit for sticking together. Nobody has bailed out. Nobody has succumbed to the lower expectations. We have a real good chance to make the playoffs. 19 games left in counting tonight. He feels they have a very good chance, and he's most pleased with the way that everybody has stayed together. Everything in the world has gone wrong. The brawl, the injuries. There have been so many reasons to give up. What he's most pleased with is the group has really come together. Mike?
And here at the end, Jim, Reggie is trying to carry that group into the playoffs. A 14-point quarter for Miller, and Frank Hamlin calls for time. You won't see the show very much often in the NBA, so it's nice to be in the building and watch Reggie turn back the clock. 5 of 6 from the field to start. Miller has 14. The Lakers have 13. Only John Havlicek and Jerry West have scored more points with their team in NBA history. Reggie adding to his total here early tonight.
Well, always on the move, always reading the defender, reading the screen, and just way too open. For a great shooter, 2 out of those last 3 out of the 4 shots that we've shown you, he has had no one within 5 feet. Now this one right here by Chucky Atkins, pretty decent defense, but Reggie is big enough to go right up over the top of him and shoot it, and he's off to a great start.
And there are the numbers we were talking about. Havlicek, Jerry West, and then Reggie. Most career points with a franchise. 24-9-2-2 coming into tonight, and he's added 14 since. Austin Crozier in the Pacer lineup, Brian Grant in the Laker lineup. Los Angeles has missed its last 5 shots, and in their largest hole this opening quarter at 9.
No, exactly what you don't want. Last game of a 6-game roadie, back-to-back, flying from Miami into here, and get yourself down by double digits in the first quarter.
Reggie trying to fake out Jermaine Jones, who is down. He was injured on the play. The Lakers will go 4 on 5 here, and a foul on Indiana will stop the clock as now Gary Vitti, the athletic trainer for the Lakers, will come check on the injured 6th-year man out of Georgia, Jermaine Jones.
Somebody called timeout.
Yeah, 20 taken here by LA.
Oh. So Reggie's elbow just busted him right across the nose. Ouch.
So Reggie has gotten Kobe in the jaw, Jermaine Jones in the nose, and he will be checked out. But we have Friday Night Fights coming up on ESPN2 after our game here tonight. But Reggie has gone with those sharp elbows to the jaw of Bryant and the nose of Jones.
You see that? Oh, that one hurts. Jermaine Jones doesn't need Gary Vitti. He needs Freddie Pacheco.
Yeah. Jim?
Mike, Kobe Bryant just came out and told Joey Crawford and Louis Grillo, hey, that's the 2nd time tonight, and it's the 2nd time you're calling a foul in the other direction.
Right.
What's going on? Our face is not part of the game. We're not fouling with our face, was the direct quote, Mike.
Thanks, Jim. Reggie has drawn 3 fouls here on the Lakers in the early going. And he faked out Kobe on one, then picked up the second one the following possession and isolated there on Jermaine Jones. So Reggie will give the elbows a break. Joey in conversation with all the officials. Freddie Jones going to come in for the Pacers. Meantime, with Jermaine Jones down, Kobe having 2 fouls, Luke Walton is going to have to come into the game and play the 2 for Los Angeles. Caron Butler at the line.
Well, this is the problem the Lakers are facing right now. Coach Hamlin was kidding today about having 18 small forwards, and here are the elbows right here. See right there? Clipped him in the side of the face, and right here is just, ouch. That was a left elbow straight to the nose. But then you look at the lineup the Lakers have right now. You have a power forward playing center in Brian Grant. You have a small forward, Luke Walton, playing off guard. It's just a lineup that you're not really sure of where do we go. What do we do with this lineup? You know, we have mismatches. You know, Luke Walton has to guard Fred Jones.
Defensive 3-second and a technical foul there. Jim?
Mike, Jermaine Jones has been taken back to the locker room by Gary Vitti. He has a laceration on the bridge of his nose. They will either have to sew it up or stop the bleeding before he can return.
Okay, Jim, thanks. So Jermaine out. Meantime, Lamar Odom was calling for the defensive 3, and Austin Crozier, 6th best free throw shooter in the NBA percentage-wise at 89%. Extends the lead back out to 8 for Rick Carlisle.
Well, not surprising. The Pacers 7 for 7 from the line against the worst team in the league defending against the free throw, the Los Angeles Lakers.
That is true. Jackson, another hoist of a 3. His shot selection is not special.
No, and it never has been. It was somewhat under Coach Popovich when he was in San Antonio.
Because the alternative was your butt on a chair.
Absolutely. Here, you don't really have, you don't have that alternative. You need him out there to score. So you're going to give him some leeway, but he is a guy that can get you 25, 26 shot attempts per game.
So here comes Odom to the line. We're talking about shots per game. He scores 15. He's top 10 in the league, but Frank Hamblin did tell us he's the kind of guy you'd like to see get 15 to 17 field goal attempts, a little bit more than he has been getting. Frank, the assistant who took over some 24 games ago now for Rudy Tomjanovich when Rudy stepped down because of health. Longtime assistant, 35 consecutive years in the NBA. Part of championship staffs with Phil Jackson along the way. Let's try to put a little more of that triangle offense back in on top of Rudy's offense that was in already, and the Lakers are a little mismatched there as well. Grant rebounded the Odom miss, and Bryant puts it back for 2.
Well, that's why the Laker offense looked raggedy at times, because Phil Jackson has always said it takes a couple years to really learn all the intricacies of the triangle offense. You're trying to install it in mid-season. Coach Hamlin said we're in our training camp right now with 20 games left to go in the year.
Odom shut off by Crozier, who missed that three. Lamar goes to the floor at his last touch by the Pacers, and Laker ball. Good Tierre Brown coming in here for LA, and the Pacers will bring in Eddie Gill, so we'll have changes at the point. As Chucky Atkins and Anthony Johnson sit down, and Scott Pollard out of Kansas comes in for Indiana to give Jeff Foster a break. So it's Tierre Brown, Luke Walton, Brian Grant, Karam Butler, and Lamar Odom for the Lakers here in the final 2 minutes. Very poor shooting start for LA, but they are within 5 as Grant went right at Pollard. And Brown will take it. That was a reluctant looking shot.
Yeah, well, he didn't want to shoot. He just came in the game. He didn't want to shoot that ball. Please don't give it back to me. When you're that open, it doesn't matter. You have to shoot it. So far, the Lakers' best offense has been throwing it up there and going and getting it. 3 buckets on offensive putbacks, only 2 in the regular set.
Eddie Gill tries to beat Brown. Jackson follows through. Count it, and a foul. Brian Grant tried to draw the contact. Instead, it's a chance for Jackson to get a 3-point play.
Well, sometimes he gets a little content shooting the 3. He's at his best when he's going to the hole, and that sets up his 3-point shot. He's athletic enough, he gets up high enough, he finishes well enough that he should make that a regular staple of his game.
8-point lead. Reggie with the big points early, now on Rick Carlisle's bench. You wonder how the Lakers gone from a 56-win team to trying to stay above 500 tonight. Well, there's one player on the floor from last year. That's Luke Walton. Odom drew everyone. Got the rebound, though. Nice hustle there by Lamar.
Well, they dropped about 340 pounds. And Shaquille O'Neal, and then dropped about 20 wins to go along with it. I mean, it just goes to show you that Shaq isn't a guy that you look at the numbers when you want to look at the impact he has on the team.
Jones from the outside. The former Oregon Duck pushes the lead back up to 8 here in the final minute. Miami looking great again last night against these Lakers. 51-16. They've won 11 in a row. And a couple more games like this, they may be hard to catch for the 1 spot overall. Leak out Jackson, a high riser Jones with him.
That's just a tired team right there, not getting back on defense. And there's really no reason. That wasn't a long rebound. It was a rebound gathered right near the bucket area. And you find yourself giving up an easy 2-on-1.
Lead is 10, 13 the difference, the game and shot clock. And a foul on the pass on Crozier. Free throws coming here for Odom. James Jones going to come into the game for the Pacers, and Reggie as well for the final possession of the frame.
Bring in a couple 3-point shooters. Get the last possession, see if you can maybe get a little dribble penetration. Get your shooters all around the 3-point line.
Odom, who was coming off his best season, 17 points and 9 rebounds. The stats don't look all that bad when you see 15 and 10. Guy averaging a double-double, struggling from the field here tonight, a 48% shooter on the year. It's just been one of those years where Lamar hasn't fit what LA has been doing at any stretch, except for that time when Kobe was out with the ankle injury. Odom played his best ball.
Well, that's because Lamar Odom needs the ball in his hands to be the most effective. Kobe has the ball in his hands. I mean, he's not a great player off the ball, or he's a much better player with the ball
Shot
in
clock,
his hands.
I'm sorry, shot clock off. Reggie up in front of the Pacer bench. Lakers have gone zone. Jones on the take. Luke Walton gets the rebound. Tierre Brown will let it fly. At least he did draw the backboard. Pacers, 11 of 21 from the field, 52% in the opening quarter. Kobe picked up 2 fouls. Reggie, 14 points. After 1, in America's unofficial basketball capital, where they love their Hoosiers, they love their hoops, and they love their Pacers. One last look at vintage Reggie. Indiana 30, Lakers 22. Back here in Indianapolis with Jim Gray and Tom Tolbert. Mike Tirico, Pacers up by 8. Kobe Bryant with the 2 fouls, back on the floor to start the second quarter here for LA, who shot 6 of 22 from the field as a team. It's Brian Grant, Kobe Bryant, Luke Walton, Jermaine Jones back in, and Tierre Brown. Jones took the shot across the bridge of the nose from Reggie. Kobe comes up short, and it's rebounded by Eddie Gill.
Well, they have got very few easy shots in the first quarter. Everything's been under duress. The Pacers much better at moving the ball. 8 assists in the first quarter, swinging the ball from side to side and getting wide open looks.
Freddie Jones on the take.
And of course, taking advantage of horrendous defense. I mean, that's pathetic. We drive from 20 feet away, open the lane. Not only was it bad man-to-man defense, someone's got to at least try to get over there and help.
Jermaine Jones guarded by Freddie Jones. James Jones is on the court. We are Jones here, and on the turnover as it hit the shot clock, it's back to the Pacers.
We got Ham Jones and Jam Jones out there too?
It's
Lamb Jones?
Texas football fame. Johnny Lamb Jones, 1980. Third pick for that, second to third overall pick for the Jets. Complete bust as a wide receiver. Casey Jones, although, outstanding NBA player. Still time, 5 on the clock. James Jones will take 3.
Oh,
rebound by none. Yes. What does Scott Van Pelt say on SportsCenter? All 3 of those? None. Give me none of those. Kobe drive the jump pass. Good hands by Pollard. It comes right to Tierre Brown.
Nice.
He knocks it down. 4th year out of McNeese State. Also an undrafted player on the floor. The Lakers haven't looked pretty, but are within 7. Couple minutes in here, second quarter. The finale of the 6-game road trip. LA 2-3. They go home for Seattle on Sunday, and then they have 2 more on the road, including at Denver. A very important game. Brown and 1.
5 in a row for Tierre Brown, going to the free throw line to see if he can make it 6 in a row. That's one thing young guys can give you. Young guys can give you some energy. When you feel a little bit lethargic, long road trip back to back, and you get some energy and kind of pull you along with them. They're going to need that from some of the young guys tonight on this team.
Brown, born in Louisiana, went to college at McNeese State, actually caught the attention of the Houston Rockets coaching staff during off-season pickup games at the West Side Tennis Club, where a lot of guys ball during the summer, live down in Texas. And you never know the path to the NBA. Here is Tierre Brown on the Lakers. Eddie Gill responds with a 3. Another undrafted 4th-year man. Guy who actually scored the 8 millionth point in NBA history in 2001.
Did he win anything? Did confetti come down from the ceiling?
He won a free subscription to NBA.com. The foul on Freddie Jones, his first, and Brian Grant will come to the line. There's a lot of basketball going on. We got a terrific matchup Sunday on ABC. Tim Duncan and the San Antonio Spurs travel to Detroit, take on Ben Wallace and the defending champs. Could be a preview of the finals. The last 2 NBA champions meet. Our coverage begins at 3 Eastern. Some of you will see the Phoenix Suns in Memphis taking on the Grizzlies. Phoenix and San Antonio, top 2 records in the West. Detroit second in the East. So 3 of the teams that could be your NBA Final 4 in action on ABC. Most of you will see the Spurs and the Pistons from Auburn Hills.
Good job by Brown, making him put the ball on the ground to no avail. But Jones is the guy that can flat out shoot it from deep. You got to make him bounce it before he shoots. At that time, he bounced it and just had a little bit too much size, but a good job knowing the personnel and knowing you have to get out on it.
In what has been a season of opportunity for players not suspended or not injured, James Jones has taken the most of his this year and has proven he can be a guy to be around in this league for a while. After the Walton miss, Freddie Jones threw it to Jamal Tinsley, but Jamal was on the bench.
Pollard might have ran over someone's foot.
Scott is limping, so we'll check on his ankle when we come back. Out of Miami, 2nd round pick of the Pacers a couple of years ago, James Jones. A 3 and a 2 here in this corner. Indiana +7. Pacers trying to get there with or without Jermaine O'Neal. They lead by 7 now, and Jim Gray standing by with the Indiana All-Star.
All right, Mike, thank you very much. Jermaine was injured his shoulder back on March the 3rd against the Denver Nuggets. He has not done an interview since that time. We appreciate you joining us. Jermaine, you have been examined and evaluated by several physicians around the country. What is the prognosis and the problem with your shoulder?
Well, when it actually happened, I dislocated it, but it didn't stay out. It was hurting me so bad that I kind of grabbed my hand and pushed it back into place. But obviously, when your shoulder comes out of place, you stretch and you tear certain things. And I tore the capsule that holds the shoulder together when you reach back. But I'm fortunate enough that I don't have to have surgery. They said it can naturally heal, and maybe it's a long shot. Maybe I can get back to the playoffs, but I'm definitely out for the regular season, the rest of the regular season.
Was it your decision, or was it the doctor's decision, or how did you come to the decision not to have surgery?
Well, I wanted to find 4 or 5 of the best doctors and kind of get their opinion. And ultimately, it came down to me saying, surgery is definitely something that a player doesn't want to have. And if you don't necessarily have to have it and it can heal on itself naturally, that's what I want to do. And it also gives me opportunity to still possibly be able to play in the playoffs.
We talked to Coach Carlisle before the game. He said that you have been more upbeat in the last couple of days since you've gotten that MRI looked at by several specialists. Has your shoulder physically improved in the last couple of days? Is that the reason for your being more upbeat?
Yeah, my strength has came. The last 3 days has been, God has really blessed me and put me in a good position to improve the last 2 days. And if I continue to improve at this rate, I will be able to play hopefully at some point during the playoffs.
You talk about some point. What does that mean? Does that mean first round possibly? Because your team is in a precarious position, A, of making the playoffs, and B, of trying to advance. So are you talking about an early round?
Yeah, I'm talking about the first round. That's my goal right now, to go as hard as I can twice a day, rehab. I may even fly out to see another guy that can really rehab me in a major way, so I can get back for the first round of the playoffs.
Jermaine, let's make you a reporter here, if you will. Ron Artest went to see the commissioner about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. The meeting has been described as good. What can you tell us about that? And are you optimistic that Ron could return if you guys made the playoffs?
Well, I hope so, for our team. Obviously, Ron is a big part of what we do, and we miss him dearly. But 73 games is a long time. I think he's learned his lesson on everything. Everybody that was involved has learned their lesson. And I think after the 73 games up, we will hope that the commissioner lets him come back and give him an opportunity not only to play basketball, but to prove himself as a person to the rest of the public.
Jermaine, we hope you feel better. We appreciate your time, and thank you for doing this interview.
Thank you.
All right, back to you, Mike.
Thank you, Jim. Kobe hits the 2 there. We have a timeout by the Lakers. Meantime, Jeff Foster limped off before the timeout. Austin Crozier limped down in that first possession. Pacers down to 10 healthy bodies. Lakers within 7. 10 will continue from Indianapolis in a minute. There's been plenty of good times and great basketball in this city over the last 48 hours. It continues on into the weekend. Pacers leading the Lakers here by 7. The Pacers have 11 assists on 15 field goals. The Lakers only have 9 field goals for the game, yet they are within 7. Reggie back in. Steven Jackson. Dale Davis trying to set the screen, and he led a path to the basket.
Just kind of wondering. I mean, that's 3 times now they've gone straight to the hole. Unabated, as they say. Where's the emotion with the Lakers? You're talking about a game that you really could use at this point, and you just watch them play. I mean, this could be goaltending. This could be the second game of the season. This could be preseason for all the energy and the emotion that the Lakers are showing right now.
T.R. Brown credited with that hoop. He is the leading Laker scorer with 8. Reggie, triple.
Sure. It's like when I used to watch the Niners in the 80s, and Jerry Rice might be wide open in the end zone, and you're like, how's that guy wide open? Best receiver ever to play the game, football. You would think you'd double him or make sure that he didn't get the ball. Reggie Miller is, I think we know he's a great shooter and a great move by Kobe, but it just amazes me when you watch teams, a guy's hot, he's a great shooter, and either your rotations are messed up or you're not really into the game as much as you should be. And he's getting wide open shots.
Kobe, 3 field goals. He has 6. 6 to shoot for Anthony Johnson. A little clear out space now.
That's good defense. It's going to be a tough shot.
Sure. Indiana by 10. Largest lead for the Pacers. By the way, Jim updates us. Austin Crozier, left ankle injury. Scott Pollard, right ankle. Both questionable to return. Crozier's come back to the bench. Ankle retaped as Caron Butler gets it inside to get it back to single digits. Butler 1 of 5, his first field goal on the night. Indiana 32-31. The Lakers 32-32. Johnson with the make. These two teams had two of the top 4 records in the NBA last year. The Pacers had the best record in the league, if you remember, last season at 61-21.
One of the reasons they've been able to survive is their depth. I mean, they have good depth on this team. And a nice move by Lamar Odom going to his left, little pull-up jump hook. But that's one of the reasons I believe they're going to make the playoffs. I mean, they still have good players in this team. You're missing your 2 superstars, and that's what makes them special. When you add your 2 superstars to a team that has a lot of depth, now you're talking about one of the better teams in the East and one of the better teams in the league.
Reggie again! 19 for Miller. 7 of 9 from the field. Both teams have hit their last 5 shots, but the Pacers shooting 57%, getting 19 from Reggie in just a dozen minutes tonight. Tierre Brown feeling it. First miss in the last 10 shots. Here come the Pacers to extend their largest lead of the night. What was that? Butler left free. He's hit back-to-back field goals.
Not often alley-oop passes start fast breaks. But that was a flat-out fast break starter.
Wow. It's the starting 5 for Indiana now.
See him switching off on Reggie Miller now. Lamar Odom up on him.
Johnson over Brown, no. Dale Davis 2 tries. Out of bounds, staying down here with the Pacers after this timeout. Well, Los Angeles has to step up its defense. They're allowing Indiana to shoot 52% from the field. And Reggie Miller, 19 in the first half on 7 of 9 from the field. The Pacers lead by 8. Thank you, Stan. We look forward to listening to you guys at the break. Hopefully the Godfather bid has been tabled. That was a struggle in the pregame. Funny stuff, but it was. They will not be getting a casting call anytime soon. 3 on Kobe here. 3 on Kobe as Reggie was trying to get free. And Kobe is trying to hide the lip reader's ability to see what he's saying to Louis Grillo.
Well, I think with 2:46, you probably get him out of the game.
Absolutely.
You don't want him to get his 4th in the last 2:45. Still have a chance at this one.
So Kobe will sit with 6 points here in the first half.
You're going to see the foul by Kobe Bryant right here. Reggie Miller. Grab around the way. There's like 3 hands in there. You could have got Mim for that one too as well. I mean, he forces you to work hard and grab, and plus he grabs and holds too.
Right.
So you feel like you should grab and hold, and then you're the one who gets caught for it.
Caron Butler takes it away from Miller and gets the steal. You know, Reggie leads in so many categories in Pacer history. Undoubtedly, he leads in fouls drawn. He has a way of drawing fouls over the years. Butler couldn't crash the glass. Mim can't keep it alive, but Walton does. Good job there by the Lakers. And that's what Frank Hamblin told us before the game. I want to see us rebound. We've got to out-rebound these guys, out-hustle tonight. They're within 1. Davis blocks Mim.
I haven't used my Karch Kiraly reference in a while, but that was definitely a spike.
Anthony Johnson tells Reggie, run off a screen. Butler's guarding you now, and Reggie rims it out. Here comes Luke Walton back the other way for LA.
Nice pass.
Can Mim hit a field goal? It's been a struggle. First one for Chris.
Exactly what you want your big guys to do. Now, Luke Walton's a guy who at 6'8" can rebound and handles the ball very well, can lead the fast break. Big guy run right down the middle, and when you get in the middle of the paint, turn around and make yourself big. Luke found him.
Steven Jackson traveled as he was working on Luke Walton. So on that 5th turnover of the half for the Pacers, chance for Frank Hamblin's team to get it down to something manageable here at the break. Really getting not much from Kobe. Here goes Chucky Atkins with the ball, however. We already have a timeout. taken by the Pacers.
It's like the guy that picks up the fumble after the whistle blows. Got to run it 80 yards for the touchdown.
Kind of getting a little what happened there from Frank Hamblin, who's tried to deal with all the Laker issues that the guys in the studio were detailing pregame in addition to their injuries. Both teams, obviously, when this game showed up on the schedule, this is one of those finals preview kind of games, especially last year when the Lakers had the 4th best record in the league, 3rd in the West, and the Pacers had the best record in the league. But so many things, including Kobe missing a month with the ankle injury, the suspensions regarding the fight in Detroit for the Pacers, all of their injuries. These two teams have underperformed, and these are two of the teams that have been regulars in the NBA playoffs here over the last decade.
Well, I think Greg touched on it in the studio. You add Artest to this team and Jermaine O'Neal healthy, you may be talking about the Pacers with the best record in the East, not the Miami Heat. I know one thing. Playoffs are going to be fun to watch because there's some new blood in the playoffs now. The Wizards will be there. They're fun to watch. If this team would have been in the playoffs, you would have had 3 teams legitimately from the East that could have won an NBA championship. You couldn't have said that 2 or 3 years ago.
6-point game, minute 10 to go. By the way, the Pacers, if the playoffs started tonight, would play the Pistons in the 2-7 series. Indiana hasn't been back to Detroit since the fight in November, and they will go there a week from tonight. Steven Jackson, the beautiful deal. Foster couldn't find it. Here comes Walton leading the break, finding Atkins, and clearing a lane out for him as well.
Little drop pass there. Passed it and then cleared the lane for his buddy. They're down 4.
And it is shocking if you've watched most of the game. Steven Jackson in trouble. Luke Walton went to get the ball. Steven Jackson tried to tear it. And Luke all at the same time. Jump ball coming. Good scrappiness here, and Luke has given the Lakers that here this evening. Toyota halftime show coming up. Stan Verrett and the guys will check out AI with that thumb injury. He's in the lineup. Tap stolen by Jackson, so it'll go back to the Lakers.
Well, the Lakers have time to squeeze off a 2-for-1 if they would like to.
Thank you, Tom.
You're welcome. You know, Mike, I'm a big advocate of the 2-for-1.
I've heard that a couple of times. 6 turnovers in this quarter here for Indiana, allowing LA to get back. They only had 1 turnover in the first quarter. This isn't a 2-for-1 squad right now. It's just...
No, it doesn't matter who's out there, Mike. It's always 2-for-1. Give yourself 2 shots for 1. You have to do it. Mathematically, it makes sense. Not going to happen here, though.
Chucky Atkins left free. Can't find it. Last shot for the Pacers. And we'll see how many screens Reggie can run off here.
I'm going to say 6 in 13 seconds.
Luke Walton with the foul. Lakers had a foul to give because they only committed 1 in that quarter.
See, I'm not sure in this situation when you have a foul to give if you don't wait another 4 or 5 seconds. Because now with 10 seconds, you still have more than enough time if you're the Pacers to get a good shot and get into your offense. If you let them dribble the clock out a little bit and then maybe foul with 4 seconds, forces a little bit tougher shot for the Pacers.
Comes Reggie. Watched by Karam Butler as the clock ticks down. Reggie on the kick. Steven Jackson ends the half with a miss.
And at halftime, your Pacers 50, the Lakers 40.
It was the Pacers by 8 after 1. It's Indiana by 4 here at the break. Good comeback by the Lakers. You would have figured Kobe would have had the big numbers in the first half, but it is Reggie who is standing by with Jim Gray.
All right, thank you very much, Mike, with Reggie Miller. Reggie, you had 19 points here in the first half, but this is only a 4-point game now. How did that happen?
Well, I think we were giving them easy shots down the other end. Right now we're a one-way team. We got to do better defensively.
When you get into this zone, do you just want the ball every time?
No, I'm not in the zone right now. The guys are doing a great job of setting the screens for me, and I'm getting so wide open looks. I don't expect that in the second half. I'm sure Kobe and the rest of the guys are going to try to put a clamps on me.
Why would you even think of retiring?
Because it's time. It's time.
See you in the second half.
Thank you.
Thanks, Reg. Back to you, Mike.
Thank you, Jim. Yeah, when a guy puts up 19 points in a half, you think he's still got it. Reggie has had it for a long time, for a decade and a half plus in this league. His 18th year. Good scrap by the Lakers in the second quarter to battle back. Stan Verrett and company in Times Square for the Toyota halftime show, including Steven's good sit-down with Tracy McGrady. That's all next. Here in Indianapolis, it's the Pacers +4. Set for quarter number 3, it is the Pacers leading the Lakers by 4. Mike Tirico, Tom Tolbert, Jim Gray, glad you're with us here as we head into the stretch drive in this very important game for LA. As we said, they lose tonight. They're 3 back in the loss column with 17 to go, in Denver playing terrific basketball under our cookie-eating buddy, George Karl. Reggie eating them up like the days of old in the first half.
Well, look how much space he has. He's a good enough shooter when you get a hand in his face. And that was one of the few times they were actually close. Chucky Atkins right on him. But you can't give a good a shooter as Reggie is open looks like this, or he's going to get hot. And then when he does get hot, then he'll start making the shots with hands in his face.
Here are the numbers from the first half. 50% shooting from the field. The Lakers only made 14 field goals. Indiana had that many assists. Excellent free throw shooting both sides. And Lakers the better of it in the paint. Not thinking you're going to get many points from Dale Davis and Jeff Foster inside. Kobe, 3 of 6 shooting in the first half, 6 points. And as has been alluded to over the last couple of nights with the Lakers, Kobe has been poor in the second half shooting from the field, good in the first half. So Laker fans hoping they can get a flip of that here tonight.
Well, 2 things that jump out to me as to why the Lakers were able to stay in this game. Because I didn't think they played particularly well in the first half. They were able to convert on 12 out of 13 free throws. And the other one, 3 turnovers. That's it, just 3 turnovers in the first half. And when you're not shooting well, you need to get the offensive boards. They got 7 and not turn the ball over.
Let's go visit with Jim Gray. Jim?
All right, Mike, here's the assessment from Kurt Rambis, the assistant coach of the Lakers. Our defense was no good. We played awful. We gambled too much. We let Reggie get off. Our offense wasn't too good. We need some energy. It's the end of a road trip. Having said all that, we've got an opportunity to win this game, so we've got to get after it here in the second half. We're fighting, they're fighting. Yeah. Now, as for Rick Carlisle, he said too many second chance points, too many turnovers, 6 in the second quarter, and we've given Kobe a long rest. We're in a dangerous position. Mike?
And Chris Mim, Jim, starts to continue Carlisle's thought and finish Rambis's as the Lakers get within 2. Kurt Rambis and Brian Shaw added to the staff back about a month ago as the Lakers promoted Frank Hamblin. So you also have, in addition to a roster influx at times, Reggie picking up where he left off, now has 21. You also have a coaching staff that did not start the season together as well.
Well, we'll see if that bucket can get Chris Mim off. A lot of times when he gets off early in a half, he will play well the rest of the half. He didn't do much in the first half. I mean, 1 rebound. You got to have more than 1 rebound from your center, and he played 11 minutes, so it wasn't like he only played 3 or 4. But sometimes when he gets the ball early, gets a touch, maybe gets a bucket or 2, his production helps open things up for some other people.
Anthony Johnson picked up the first foul of the half. LA final game of this 6-game road trip, 2-3 on the trip, playing a 4th game in 5 nights, having played Washington, Philadelphia, and Miami last night. Here is Bryant, missing from the outside as the shot clock was running down, and Chucky, as the clock recycled, took a quick 3.
Oh, that's not a bad shot because the ball caroms off the rim, you get an open look, and you pass that up, you might not get another look that good the rest of the possession.
Steven Jackson, side of the glass. Dale Davis.
Try it again, big fella.
Right back up to a 7-point lead. Jackson, a 37% 3-point shooter. He's the only other Pacer in double figures with a dozen.
You gotta love that. Go from the side of the backboard to swoosh.
Odom. Mim tried the weak side flush. Couldn't follow, and Jeff Foster comes away with him.
Those have to be put down. It looked like he may have got pushed in the back a little bit, too.
Odom was stung by something. He's grimacing as he comes up the floor. Dale Davis hands to Jackson, tries the other corner, and Hamblin will take a timeout.
Speaking of grimacing,
as they let Steven Jackson get out to a good start. 7-0 run here for the Pacers.
The grimace is here tonight. You see him?
Yeah.
Grimace is around.
The Grimace and the Hamburglar were here earlier, and somebody is stealing
Mayor McCheese?
the Lakers' playoff hopes. Timeout, LA. Back here at Conseco Fieldhouse, downtown Indianapolis. A great time to be in this wonderful city. Things warming up as we head towards the first few days of spring. A lot of basketball in town. The NCAA opening round games were played here yesterday, and the second round action will be here tomorrow. And the Pacers and Lakers here tonight. No Lamar Odom on the floor. Jim Gray will get us an update momentarily, but it looks like it could be a shoulder problem for Odom. Meantime, the Lakers have missed their last 5 shots. Steven Jackson and Reggie Miller leading Indiana 35 of the Pacer 57. Make it 37 of their 59.
He's turned into a nice player. You know, a guy that was, I believe, second-round draft pick of New Jersey, and then was out of the league for a couple years. San Antonio picks him up, and I think learned a lot playing under Greg Popovich. Veterans on the team like David Robinson and Tim Duncan was also in Phoenix. And you look at him now, he's a guy who can go out any night and give you 30 points.
See that shot right there? That's why Kobe's shooting percentage has been so bad in the second half. It's kind of, you know, rescue us shots from 3 with the shot clock running down. And Bryant didn't hit it there. Oh, got it! Reggie, catch, shoot, splash! 2 more for Miller. 23 on the night, an 11-0 run for the Pacers.
He's one of the guys in the league, one of the few guys in the league nowadays, and when he's wide open and he shoots, you're surprised when he misses it.
Bim has it swiped away by Jackson, and it'll be Laker ball.
I love Joey Crawford.
Jim, an update.
Mike, Lamar Odom is back in the locker room with Gary Vitti. He has a left shoulder sprain. His return is questionable right now at best. He left in considerable pain. Mike.
Brutal, Jim. Thank you. The update there is Butler gets inside, fighting Dale Davis, and gets the rebound and a chance for a 3-point play. Let's go back and see. We saw him grimacing coming up the floor. Went up to get the rebound. Didn't look like anything serious, but you could see he grabbed for that side right away.
Just awkward position.
Obvious would have been the better word, not serious. Beg your pardon. Here's Butler at the line. Talked to Karam before the game. He spent his late afternoon watching his alma mater, Connecticut, struggle in their NCAA game. He said, I'm going to call Coach Calhoun after the game and find out what happened. I don't think Coach Calhoun's looking for a phone call, Karam. He's looking for some guard play right now.
Coach Calhoun may be calling him and asking what happened.
Let's see. Offensive foul is called here on Anthony Johnson. As the Lakers are breaking free, so AJ will pick up his second. Brian Cook in the game. We mentioned lots of fans here for the NCAA tournament. Brian from Illinois is all excited about his alma mater. Cincinnati and Kentucky and Illinois and Nevada playing at the RCA Dome, which is 6 blocks right down Georgia Street. This is such a great basketball city, and the city's been phenomenal to be in this weekend. Cook off the glass, his first shot of the night, rebounded by Jeff Foster, who has 10 rebounds now, as the Lakers are 2 of 11 from the field in this third quarter.
Well, this is really a quarter where if you're the Lakers, you wanted to come out, you worked your way back into the game. It wasn't pretty, and just make sure you stay in the game. But the Pacers have come out with more energy, more hustle, and more want. Oh my goodness.
Foster rebounds the air ball of Davis and puts it back in. 63-51, Indiana by 12, 7.5 left. See if they can get Kobe something here.
You got to watch out for Brian Cook. Although at 6'10", 6'11", he's more like an off-guard in that he likes to shoot a lot of outside jump shots.
Jim tried to follow, he couldn't. Davis pulls that away. Davis now to 11 rebounds. Although Davis and Foster each with 11 rebounds tonight. They've really picked it up in the absence of Jermaine O'Neal. Miller, 3! Johnson the rebound.
And that's what Dale Davis does for you. He's an extra possession getter. Whether he's taking charts, blocking shots, or getting offensive rebounds, he gets you extra touches throughout the course of the game.
Plenty of shot clock left for Steven Jackson. A little mismatch with Chucky Atkins. Wants to take him down to use the height. Dale Davis foul as Butler hits the deck hard.
That time he wasn't an extra possession getter, he's a foul getter. But he's a guy you don't mind picking up fouls on the offensive end. You got guys that can come in and spell him, but he's going to give you energy on both the offensive and defensive glass.
Talking about rebounding, both coaches telling us today that rebounding was important. And right now it's Indiana with 7 more than LA. As you see, Bryant has gone 8 minutes and change without a field goal.
Well, they're making him take tough shots. He has not had one open look.
Cook on the miss. And a set play called by Rick Carlisle. Two 2 of 14 in the quarter are the Lakers. Came out with energy. Mim hit the first one, so they're 1 of 13 since. Davis inside. No, Rick Carlisle was telling us today, it's not like Dale Davis is your #1 option. It's not like he is going to give you anything that Jermaine O'Neal can give you inside. But what he did, he facilitates a lot more offensively than people give him credit for. Over the years, he did that. Those days with the Pacers. Then out to Portland, the Jermaine O'Neal trade. Been fighting for it, lost it, back come the Pacers. No numbers. Reggie just back it out. Reggie Miller against Kobe Bryant. A lot of points.
Got Steven Jackson.
Yep. Yeah, with Chucky Atkins, that mismatch.
Good job by Brian Cook recognizing the mismatch and getting over there and knocking the ball away.
Back in the Pacer lineup,
Austin Crozier comes back in for Indiana. Remember, he hurt his left ankle. Nice hand here for Dale Davis. In so many ways, like he never left. For Dale Davis of old, as he's back.
They're waiting for Kobe to, break out of his second half slump. What, 3 for 28?
Yep.
In the last 3 games, 0 for 4. Oof. 3 for 22. Well, I mean, they're all jump shots. You're waiting for Kobe. Well, one thing that makes Kobe great is not only can he score in many ways, he can get to the rim. He can draw. He's not getting to the free throw line, drawing fouls. There you go.
There's a draw there on Steven Jackson. Tom, it's a good point. I went on to ESPN.com today and checked the shot chart of Kobe's second half last night, and he was 1 of 9 from the field, and the closest field goal attempt was 13 feet. Everything else was 18 feet or beyond. Now, it's a game that was, you're taking some shots late to try to get back in it, but still.
Well, I think maybe the most shocking stat so far tonight is that I don't believe Kobe Bryant's been to the free throw line. I believe he has 0 free throw attempts.
You believe correctly.
You're talking about a guy, Reggie, unconscious.
26 for Miller.
Retro Reggie.
15, largest lead of the night for the Pacers.
They need something going to the rim. They got it last time, do it again. Get to the rim, get fouls.
Kobe responds.
Get a 3. But Kobe regularly gets to the line 10, 11, 12 times in a game. And that just shows you the inability to. Let's go to Jim.
Okay,
I forgot my thought.
Go ahead, Jim.
Mike, this is not good news for Laker fans or for Lamar Odom. He is out of tonight's game with a strained left shoulder. According to John Black of the Lakers, he is out indefinitely.
Ooh.
They do not know when he will return. He will be reevaluated and have an MRI when they get back to Los Angeles tomorrow, and they will go for there.
Wow, devastating news, Jim. Meantime, Miller, as they chant Reggie, Reggie, with 28 points here on the night. Reggie scored 29 2 games ago against Cleveland. Listen to the crowd. Reggie tried to draw one on Caron Butler, and Butler scores and asks the crowd to give him some. And they do.
Can't do that when you're down 12. Gotta save that for when you're up 12.
Don't feed Reggie. Oh, show. Good if it goes. No. Oh, and look at the, let's see. Butler can't believe he's fouled here. Called for it by Louis Grillo. Reggie just let it. You make the stage bigger, Reggie comes up bigger. Timeout, Indiana. He did a lot of damage at Market Square. Conseco Fieldhouse has been a great stage as well for Reggie over the years. He'll come to the line and shoot a couple. That one didn't count, but still sent a message. Our producer Ken Wolf, director Ken Dennis, rest of our ESPN2 crew. Glad you're with us here from Conseco Fieldhouse in downtown Indianapolis. Pacers leading by 12. Kobe Bryant 4 of 11 from the field. It's been, as Tommy said, retro Reggie. Miller's lighting him up for 28, looking for his 4th 30-plus point game on the season. In this his final season in one of those dwindling regular season games in this storied career for Reggie Miller. His 1,371st game being played here tonight. Steven Jackson on the drive. Missed it. If you're just joining us looking for Lamar Odom for the Lakers, injured shoulder out at least for the rest of the game. And according to Jim Gray, when he spoke to the Lakers PR department, they said that indefinitely would be the description on Odom with the shoulder injury, to be re-examined on an MRI when they get back to LA after the game here tonight. Chucky Atkins takes it in, his 13 leading LA. Caron Butler has 11.
Well, Chucky's the only guy, and he's done it 2 of the last 3 possessions. It's trying to get to the rim, trying to get down the heart of the defense and create something and make something happen. Nice little chuck by Jones on Reggie Miller.
And Crozier able to get the easy one. This is a Pacer team shooting 67% from the field in the third, 55% for the game.
You get everybody worrying about Reggie Miller and where he's going and what screen he's coming off of, and do I have to help, do I have to jump out? Do a little slip, a little fake, and you find yourself Austin Crozier right underneath the bucket wide open.
Kobe for his second 3 of the quarter. Off the mark. He is 4 of 12 from the field. Danger zone here for LA. Johnson, wide left. Caron Butler's shown some energy here in the second and third quarter, and Jermaine Jones, who had to leave in the first half as he took a Reggie Miller elbow across the bridge of the nose, comes back to make it a 10-point game.
Well, even though the Lakers are playing poorly, they're not getting blown out. You're still only down 10 points. Couple threes, you're right back in it, or not.
Bryant, the 4th foul. Jackson, the basket, and a free throw coming. And Kobe's going to come out.
I mean, the biggest discrepancy in this game is the Pacers are getting the ball where they want to get the ball and doing what they want with it. Right there, Steven Jackson on the block, got it in great position, turned around, Kobe in a bad way, fouled him, and gets to go to the free throw line. Conversely, the Lakers on the offensive end are getting pushed and moved and not getting where they want, when they want. Therefore, they're getting worse shots than the Pacers are. That's all an energy thing.
19 for Jackson, 10 here in the quarter. Reggie will take a seat as Kobe is forced to the bench with his 4th personal foul. 13 the lead for a Pacer team that's knocking on the door of Chicago, trying to slide up to that 6th spot here in the NBA's Eastern Conference. Ryan Grant tips it back in.
And you see, that drive gave Brian Grant the offensive rebound opportunity. Big guy, you have to come over, you have to help. Brian Grant slides right in.
Jackson spun Walton baseline. Luke comes away with the rebound. Luke Walton, one of 77 active NBA players to play in the Final Four. Jones a 3. And Rick Carlisle, who played in the Final Four, captained the Virginia '84 team with Ralph Sampson, takes a 20-second timeout.
Well, it's a dangerous squad for the Lakers, just because if you're the Pacers, you think Kobe's out, you maybe relax a little bit, and the Lakers get right back into it, only down 8.
Headline stories tonight as these teams are right around the 500 mark and trying to get themselves into playoff position or stay there for Eddie Gill in Indiana. It'll be the 2 big scores, and on the night, Kobe Bryant, 4 fouls becomes the key story, 2 very early. Meantime, Reggie Miller with 28 points after having 29 just a couple of games ago in Cleveland and having a stretch in the third quarter here against Utah on Wednesday night where he took over the game. And that was kind of the difference window in that victory. Off the bench, James Jones missed a 3, rebounded by Jermaine Jones, and yes, Fred Jones is on the floor once again.
Headache.
See if the Lakers can continue to whittle this one down. Gill fell down. Offensive foul called on Caron Butler, his 3rd. Kobe with 4, Caron with 3. Frank Hamblin's team 14-5 run.
And just a nice job just getting your feet outside the restricted area, standing and taking a nice shot to the chest. But I still think this is a Laker team that maybe when kept on the court, if you're the Pacers, you got to be careful. Just because Kobe's not on the court, you can't let up.
Deep 3 from Fred Jones goes over the top, and the Lakers will have a chance to take it all the way down here.
And it's just been, you know, as far as I'm concerned, from Kobe tonight, it's just been kind of a lazy effort. It's not an effort to try to get to the free throw line, not an effort to try to get fouls on Reggie. Just kind of taking the easy way out. I mean, it takes some commitment, a little bit of heart to want to go in there and get punished night after night, and he usually does that. For some reason tonight, he has not made that commitment to get to the free throw line.
Butler fake the outside shot and able to connect, so they're able to get it right down here to a half dozen. Last shot of the quarter, Eddie Gill will take and make a big three. Wow, so defensive breakdown there by LA, no matter what. That doesn't count with 0.2 to go. And we will go to the fourth quarter with the Los Angeles Lakers in desperate need of a win, trying to stay above 500. There was a lot of hellos early on. It was goodbye as Reggie drew 2 early fouls on Kobe. Miller has taken over. The Pacers shooting 57% from the field, lead by 9. And off we go to the fourth quarter from downtown Indianapolis. With Jim Gray and Tom Tolbert, Mike Tirico, quarter 4 here in Indianapolis. The Pacers lead by 9. Lakers going to need a big quarter from Kobe Bryant, who is the top scorer in the NBA in the final frame, although the last 3 games, that hasn't been true. That sets the table. Let's visit with Jim Gray, standing by with one of the decision makers here in Indianapolis.
All right, Mike, thank you very much. With the president of the organization, Donnie Walsh, who's been here a long time. Donnie, Rick Carlisle told me before the game that he was so proud of the way that the players have reacted through all this adversity. What is your assessment of what has gone on this year and how this team has responded?
Well, I'm really proud of the coaches and the players, because after what we've gone through this year, you know, they could have nailed it and they didn't. They come out every game. They don't use anything as an excuse, and they try to win every game, and yeah, I couldn't be prouder of them.
Coach Reggie Miller announced about a month ago that he is going to retire at the end of the season, Donnie. He has 28 points tonight. He's over 30 3 or 4 times so far this season. Will you try and talk him out of that decision?
Of course I will. I've been with Reggie all but 1 year since I've been here. I don't know what it would be like not to be with Reggie. So I'd love to see him come back, but his decision is going to be his decision.
Do you think you have much of a chance of success for that?
I really don't know. I don't know how much, you know, he really meant it when he said, this is my last year.
Austin Crozier with the basket right there. Donnie, let me ask you about Jermaine O'Neal. He said tonight that he feels as though he could be ready for the playoffs. Does the organization agree with that?
Well, we don't know. What we're concentrating on now is the best way to deal with his shoulder and to get that healed, because now we've decided to not go to the surgery route, that it'd be better just to let it heal. And if that allows him to play in the playoffs, fine. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
The final issue regarding the playoffs. Do you hold out any hope that Ron Artest might be back?
No, I really don't. I've never had an indication from the league that they were going to change their punishment, and that's the way it's remained.
Donnie, we thank you for your time.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Good to see you. Back to you, Mike.
Jim, thank you. Donnie Walsh, the CEO and president of the organization. Larry Bird, president of basketball operations. 2 great decision makers here. Meantime, Luke Walton comes all the way, gets his first 2. Nice little energy spurt to start the quarter. Indiana sees the lead shrink to 6 as the Lakers have hit the first 3 field goal attempts here in the 4th.
Well, I don't think it'll be too long before Rick Carlisle gets Reggie Miller and Steven Jackson back on the court. He's seen this lead slip to 6. If it goes down to 4-3, I'm assuming those guys will be back in shortly.
Fred Jones to Crozier, who hit a 3 earlier, but with 1 second left on the clock, we have a 3-second call on Dale Davis, and now the Lakers will take the ball back over as Anthony Johnson and Reggie Miller get set to come back in for Indiana. Not going to be able to get in here after the 3-second violation, so LA will have a chance to tighten this baby up.
Well, it's been Chucky Atkins. I think he's been the key offensively.
We'll tie up there.
Odd.
Rockets Timberwolves Sunday here on ESPN. As the foul inside, Brian Grant was going up for the hoop. We'll see the Bulls, who the Pacers are trying to catch on NBA TV Monday night, TNT Tuesday, as the defending champion Pistons visiting LeBron, and the Miami Heat taking on the Houston Rockets. Some people started talking about the Rockets as a team, obviously with their great run, to be a fly in the ointment for San Antonio or Phoenix, those top seeds in the West. Is Houston now 39-25, has won 6 in a row.
They've been playing well. I still don't think they beat Phoenix or San Antonio in the playoffs. But is it unreasonable to think they could? No, it's not. I mean, the one thing about them this year that's interesting is they'll get up and down. I mean, they will score some points. and they will get 105, 110, on occasion 115. So they're trying to push it. It's not, let's just wait for Yao Ming, let's just wait for Yao Ming. It's you guys go, see if you can score, and then if you don't score, then we'll try to get Yao in the offense, which I think works out great for that team, on a team with a guy like Tracy McGrady.
Crozier on the miss, rebounded by Chucky Atkins. Without Bryant on the floor, Lakers making a nice run. Nice find to Jermaine Jones inside. And Los Angeles has it within 3, and Rick Carlisle takes a timeout. So energy from Butler and Jermaine Jones and Luke Walton, and the guy who's answered the call every night this season, Chucky Atkins, bringing the Lakers back within 3. Pacers have shot a high percentage throughout the game, but a good start. 4 of 4 from the field in the 4th for LA. Has them within a bucket. Indiana had a big advantage, as much as 15. It's whittled down to 3. It's been the Pacers season, though. One time it looks good, and then what's going to happen? What's going to happen? We asked Rick Carlisle this morning, what are the goals now, and how does this team continue to find the resiliency to stay in it?
We said, you know, when all these things happened to us in November that, you know, we weren't going to change our goals, we weren't going to change our approach, and we weren't going to give in to lowered expectations. The goal is to get to the playoffs and win in the playoffs. Is it harder this year? Yeah, it's going to be harder because I don't think a home court's in the equation for us. It's really become almost a science project for our team. We need low turnovers. We need to out-rebound the team. We need to screen hard. We need to do little things very well. And then we have a chance to win.
Well, that was the equation early on when they jumped out. Since then, the Lakers have brought some energy. Rebounds are even. LA's turned it over just 5 times. Indiana 11. Helping LA get back in the game without Kobe Bryant on the floor. Little zone here from LA. Anthony Johnson goes through the middle of the 2-3. And tipped in by Dale Davis.
Well, that's the one thing about a zone. You don't have a man to box out. You got to box out an area. And if that man's in the crease somewhere, a lot of times he gets left alone. And Dale Davis was that guy. He got an easy offensive rebound.
You see LA +7 since Kobe went out. And we're going to get a loose ball foul called on Los Angeles. Luke Walton picking up his second. See when Frank Hamlin will bring Kobe back in. Doubt we'll see LA go back to that 2-3 zone.
That one didn't work all that well.
No, not a good night for 2-3 zones. Anthony Johnson watched by Jermaine Jones. Butler watches Jackson, one-on-one. Here is Steven. Off the mark, Luke Walton the board.
Well, let's see if they can get Luke Walton or Chucky Atkins the ball and penetrate, get in the middle of the defense. Oh, he's got one on him.
Chucky over Foster, missed the 3. Walton hustles for the rebound, jump ball.
That was a horrible shot. Now, you don't take that shot with a 6'10" guy on you. I mean, Chucky Atkins can beat him off the dribble anytime he wants. Now, Chucky Atkins can shoot the 3, been consistent this year, but in that situation, when you have a big guy on you, you can beat him to the bucket, and then it opens up shots for everybody else, or you can get a foul.
So Luke will have the advantage here on this jump ball. But Anthony Johnson got up high to get it.
I don't think Luke was ready for that one. Or at least that's what he's saying.
I think we've learned, you gotta be ready. See who will get Reggie here. It'll be Caron Butler. Try to pick and roll with Jeff Foster, and Jeff wasn't ready to roll.
Well, this is a good job that time by Caron Butler. I mean, I think he rolled, but this is what they need to do. Great job by Chucky Atkins, getting down the middle. 3rd time he's done it in the last 10, 12 minutes. He's able to get to the middle off the bounce.
Chucky has 17 points here on the night.
They got to post him up.
Jackson missed it, Atkins the rebound, so the opportunity here for the Lakers to tie or get within 1. Atkins off the heel, Foster the rebound.
Smelling a Reggie jumper.
Yeah, right. Get in his hands, get him one. Right. Oh, it's going the other way. Yep. So after all the fouls that Reggie has drawn here tonight in this vintage Reggie performance, 1 gets called upon him.
didn't seem to complain too much.
Chucky going to get a break here. And remember, this is the second of a back-to-back, 4 games in 5 nights. See that Indiana turnover number was low early. They have given it up 5 times here in this 4th quarter against what Rick Carlisle talked about in that sound clip you heard a moment ago. Walton on about the 3, got close. Oh, couldn't make the circus shot. Dale Davis the rebound. So here are the Lakers, a crucial game, midway point 4th quarter. They've got Walton, T.R. Brown, Jermaine Jones on the floor, Bryant and Atkins resting, and Lamar Odom out with a shoulder injury. Miller, deep 3. Dale Davis gets the rebound. Dale has 15 tonight. Turnover, Butler has Jermaine Jones with him. Oh, no foul call there. Jones gets the putback. It's a 1-point game. Wow. What is going on here with the Pacers? Well, looks that were going down earlier,
yep, absolutely. I mean, they're the ones that are now settling for the shots that were going. They're great when they're going in, but when they're not going in, you got to find a way to get yourself to the free throw line.
Jackson missed it. Out of bounds. It will be Laker ball when we come back, and Los Angeles will have a chance to take the lead. 4th quarter, all Lakers here, although not pretty. The finish by Jermaine Jones and the other guys getting LA back in a very important game. Mr. Tolbert, how have the Lakers taken a 15-point deficit and gotten it down to 1, mostly without Kobe?
Well, they're being aggressive on the offensive end. I think it all started with Chucky Atkins beating his man off the dribble, getting into the teeth of the defense, creating shots for himself, opportunities for others. That's where they've been most effective. I mean, you look at the points in the paint, 44 points in the paint this game, and they're not from post-ups. They're from creating off the dribble, getting guys involved, doing it with Kobe Bryant on the bench, and you see right there 44 to 26, and like I said, it's not posting up, it's beating people off the dribble. Now Indiana, conversely, 7 out of their last 12 have been from 3. They got to get back to being more aggressive and exploring the paint before they just jack up a long-range shot.
T.R. Brown remains on the floor. Atkins getting the long break through the timeout. Couldn't hit it. Butler strong to the board. Caron Butler's been very good here tonight for Los Angeles. 15 points, 10 rebounds. He gets that double-double. Brown saw Dale Davis, and Grant will take it. Can't make Jermaine Jones a 3rd try. And a foul call here? Yep, the push on Dale Davis. So 4 on Dale Davis.
Well, good things happen when you get to the middle of the defense. And you see right there, I'm not going to say it always happens, but when you get to the middle and kick out, you make the defense rotate and move. Therefore, you have opportunities for offensive rebounds. They have 2 offensive rebounds. This will be their 3rd trip, or 3rd shot attempt right here. No time to take the lead.
T.R. Brown with the spinorama there. They really never could get that real good shot. Chucky Atkins going to come back in. Still no Kobe in. Again, Bryant, his right ankle, he said it's been bothering him a little bit. That ankle that he hurt to miss the month of the season. Steven Jackson on Luke Walton, draws some defense. 6 to shoot. Anthony Johnson knocks down a 3.
And you know why that 3 was better? They drove it. I mean, it's not just pass it around the perimeter. That's go to the middle. If they're going to stop you, you're not going to force a shot, then you kick it out. Those type of 3s are fine.
Luke Walton to Brian Grant, who gets fouled, and that'll be 3 team fouls on the Pacers here in the quarter, just 2 on LA. So it'll be sideline out of bounds. Again, back to the Kobe point, as Chucky Atkins comes back in for T.R. Brown. Part of that shooting and the numbers for Kobe in the second half has been, as Kobe alluded to after the game in Miami last night, that right ankle is just something that bothers him. Frank Hamilton said it's going to bother him throughout the rest of the season. So he's much better in the first half than the second half.
Whoa, look out.
Grant over Davis. It's kind of glaring here. LA not able to get somebody to take a big shot that you really fear. Their top 2 options in that category out of the lineup. Miller faking 3, setting up one for Steven Jackson halfway down.
That's what Jeff Foster does.
About 16 times tonight.
Yep.
11 offensive rebounds between Foster and Dale Davis.
Well, he's a tremendous offensive rebounder, Jeff Foster. He just never stops moving, and if he can't get to it, he uses the hand just to poke it out.
Luke Walton's going to be called for the fouls. He was trying to deny Steven Jackson the catch on that bounce pass.
I mean, I always like guys on the offensive end. If you're an offensive rebounder, a good rebounder, and you can't get to it, poke it at somebody. Try to punch it at somebody, poke it at somebody, and just give your team an opportunity to get it.
There comes Kobe for Luke Walton. It was interesting watching Kobe. He kept looking at Frank Hamblin a long, long time. He wanted back in, but Hamblin was trying to keep that run going. The guys had some flow, but they didn't get good shots the last few trips. He pulled the string at the right time. Johnson makes it a 6-point Indiana lead, 3.5 to go. And Hamblin will take a timeout. So a nice little bounce back here by Indiana. LA had a couple of opportunities to take the lead, I should say. It was a 1-point deficit. But a couple of back-to-back hoops for the Pacers, including this one by Anthony Johnson, now their starting point guard in the absence of Jamal Tinsley. Tonight's game available on ESPN2 HD. Presented by Philips, ESPN HD, ESPN2 HD, 6,000 hours of high-definition sports programming. Brian Grant hits the hoop. 4-point game. Call your local cable operator, satellite provider. Tell them you want ESPN HD and ESPN2 HD. And you'll see the women's Final Four in high definition coming up as that tournament gets going on the networks starting tomorrow. Jackson, bad pass, threw it away. It is a 4-on-1 for the Lakers, and here's Atkins. 2-point game, 2:50 to go.
I think an often overused term is stealing games. Used way too often. This would be a grand theft right here. If they could take this game, they have been out of this game for 3.5 quarters. If they could find a way to win this one, and they will do it defensively and offensively, look like an offensive foul
on Jeff Foster. Yes.
If they continue to be aggressive, continue to drive the ball, that's going to open up lanes for layups. It's going to open up jump shots. By Brian Grant, he'll be open for jump shots. Jones will be open for jump shots. It's all about staying aggressive for the Lakers, not settling for jump shots.
After the 7th, 4th quarter turnover by Indiana, Kobe's trying to direct traffic out here. Atkins draws the contact and the foul on Anthony Johnson. So we've got Jackson and Davis with 4 fouls for the Pacers. And Chucky Atkins coming to the line with a chance to square the game. Again, the importance of this game for LA, 32-32, 500 team, 2 games behind Denver in the loss column for the 8th and final spot in the West. San Antonio up at the top of the West, right behind Phoenix, or half game ahead of Phoenix, I should say. You'll see the Spurs and Pistons on ABC Sunday. Our coverage begins at 3 Eastern. Some of you will see Phoenix taking on Memphis.
Well, they need to find a way to get Reggie Miller the ball here.
Takes it, makes it. Reggie Miller, 30 points on the night.
When in doubt, go to Reggie at the end of the game. Last 2 or 3 minutes of the game, get the ball, let him go.
Under 2 minutes. Kobe would fit that category as well. Calling for it. Steven Jackson closing out defensively. Bryant hasn't taken the 4th quarter shot. Chucky Atkins will take it and make a 3. All square at 90. 100 seconds to go. Caron Butler draws the assignment. Atkins some help. They swing it to Anthony Johnson, a big make. That is a much more confident player who wouldn't have taken a shot like that earlier in the season.
Well, if they're going to double Reggie, he's going to be the guy that's going to have to hit shots. He's going to have the opening.
You know Kobe wants to squeeze a shot off here. Will he get the room? On the dribble to Atkins for back-to-back threes. Rebound, Steven Jackson. 1:12 to go. Lakers, by the way, have a foul to give, so fouling here would be even worse. Reggie off the screen. Everybody comes to him. Reggie, 3! Timeout, LA! Don't know how many more times you'll get to see it. in this great 18-year career. Reggie Miller controls the game again. Only Steve Yzerman with the Detroit Red Wings has been with his team longer in professional sports, 21 years, than Reggie Miller with the Indiana Pacers, 18 years. And Tom, we were talking during the break, we're just not going to see this much more. And he is one of the best big shot guys and one of the athletes who is forever linked with his city, and that city, Indianapolis. One more chance to cheer Reggie here tonight.
Well, in a game that's not a playoff game, not a clinching game for anything, not an elimination game. That was one of the coolest shots I have seen in the last 2.5 years of doing this. Just to be able to see vintage Reggie come up big, hit a key shot in the last minute of a game, and I've seen it so many times. It was very cool stuff.
Kobe fouled by Steven Jackson. Many people here do not agree with that call. And Kobe will come to the line. He has not scored here in the fourth. And this is, Tom, his first free throw attempt of the night.
Pretty amazing for a guy that's regularly in double digits to be shooting his first free throw with under a minute left in the game.
Lakers have one timeout left. The Pacers a couple. Kobe to make it a one-possession game. Oh, 1 of 2, and Jeff Foster gets the rebound, so it's still a two-possession game.
Or if you're the Pistons, you want to make sure you run the shot clock down to under 10. You know who's going to have the ball in his hands.
Butler on defense, and the foul is called on Butler. They're trying to slap up and hit Miller's arm. As I said, the Lakers are not over the limit. It's the first foul in the last 2 minutes, so the shot clock resets to 14.
Yeah, they don't lose too much there because the shot clock was at about 12, so you lose a couple seconds. But now, if you're the Pacers, I think the smart thing to do is run this thing down under 5 seconds, being that you do have a 4-point lead.
Reggie to Anthony Johnson. I'm at LA. Won the run since the Lakers came back and squared the game at 90. I got to tell you, Anthony Johnson has really stepped up here in this month. But once he realized, and we talked to him, Tom, this morning, it was nice to visit with Anthony this morning out of the College of Charleston, second-round pick of Sacramento back some 6 years ago. Once he knew Jamal Tinsley, the point guard who has been the starter, was going to be out for a while, went on the injured list, you know, hey, I can take a lot of these shots. Rick Carlisle's given me freedom to do that, and it's paid off here a couple possessions in the fourth.
Well, it helps the confidence when you know if you miss a couple shots, you're not going to get yanked out of the game. And he's a guy, you know, Reggie hit a big shot, but he's hit a couple here in the fourth quarter. When they rotate, double down on Reggie Miller, they want to come out and make sure Steven Jackson doesn't get the shot. This is a big three by Reggie there in the corner. But draw, boom, no hesitation whatsoever. Open on the baseline, doesn't even think twice about taking that shot. But he knows, double Reggie, they're probably going to rotate on Steven Jackson. He's going to be the guy that has to hit those shots.
Johnson has double-digit points here tonight. It's the 5th consecutive game that he's had double-digit points. That hasn't happened since his rookie season in Sacramento back in '97. I think I said '98. In fact, it was 1997. So the Lakers down a half dozen here with 29.7 to go. And even without Jermaine O'Neal and Jamal Tinsley, Indiana's going to claw a couple of games over 500, barring a huge LA comeback here. Around Butler to trigger.
Generally, I would say you don't need to force a three, but I think in this situation, you need to get up a three-point shot.
Here is the three, taken by Bryant. His first field goal attempt of the half is a miss. Brian Grant fouls Reggie Miller with 24.8 to go.
Oh, you might as well just have the Lakers take the ball out right here at half court and make it 99-91. Reggie Miller going to the line.
Fourth in the league, 91%, 89% over his phenomenal career. You know, Tom, of course, Reggie left UCLA as the third all-time scorer at UCLA. Going back to the city where Cheryl was such a star, he got a lot of derisive chants during his days. Now hearing the Reggie chants, I'm sure Conseco will fill up here before the second free throw as well.
Just a guy that, I mean, a much better player now than when he came into the league, but I remember playing summer league with him down in Southern California. Back we were both juniors and seniors in high school. That's one thing he could always, I mean, he was always a great shooter.
24,000. Butler goes up big and throws it down. 99-93. Get it to Reggie. Foul him again. Chance to add to his 24,957 career points. That is 13th on the all-time NBA list. He is close to within 235 points of Jerry West on the all-time list. Look at those career marks. Updated with the points there in game 1,371. Nobody's made or taken more threes in the history of the league, and there's that eye-popping career percentage at the line. Just under 89.
I wonder how many threes he's had in his career that have given the Pacers a lead in the last couple minutes of the game. Because you want to talk about big threes. I mean, that's his signature. Being able to hit big threes that either extend a lead from, let's say, one possession game to a two possession game, or hit threes when they were down 1 or 2 to take the lead.
A season-high 37, Miller, who tied a Pacer record, just ended last week, 61 consecutive free throws. Atkins has it knocked away. Butler will be able to get up a shot. This is just for cosmetics. 6 points, 9 seconds left. Lakers out of timeout.
Gives to Reggie one more time, maybe he'll get 40.
Looking to draw the foul, and he gets it. He'll have a chance to hit a couple and get to 39 here on the night. So the Lakers are going to fall to 32-33. They'll be a game under 500 with 17 games to go. Going home to play Seattle. Then they play Utah and Denver on the road. The fans here chant one more year for Reggie. Now at 38, just to close off the Laker thought, they still have a brutal road trip ahead, as if they haven't been on the road enough already this year. They still have to go play San Antonio, Memphis, Phoenix, Seattle, Sacramento on the road, and Golden State, which is playing well. There's that final 20 taken by LA. We're out of goals with 6.9 to go. 39 season high for Reggie.
I'm not,
You're not down with this timeout?
No, I'm not down with this timeout at all.
Well, Indiana, Tommy, will get to 33-31. And next 5 games, they have the Nets back-to-back, 2 out of 3. And then they have a couple of games remaining against Chicago. So I'm going to look not at this race for the 8th spot, which obviously is important, as Philadelphia is having some problems internally right now, tied with Cleveland in the 4th. Orlando changing coaches. Who had Chris Gent as the next guy up in your NBA coaching pool, one of the 7 in-season changes. But I'm looking up at 6. They're going to be right on the heels of the Chicago Bulls. Boston could play Indiana in the first round. It could be an interesting series.
Well, I think the East is going to be very fun to watch. I haven't been able to say that in a while. You look at the fight for 8th in the West, Denver, Minnesota, and the Lakers.
Reggie coming out.
Yeah. Give Reggie a hand.
It's a good job by Rick Carlisle, too, letting him come out. Kobe finally hits a field goal here in the 4th quarter. Just his 5th on the night. Eddie Gill inbounds it to Steven Jackson, and the Indiana Pacers come away with their 33rd win on the year. They're 33-31, and the Lakers fall to 32-33. Louis Grillo and Kobe with some words as Kobe was frustrated. Here's Jim with the star of the night, Reggie Miller. A point back to Kobe. Jim?
Mike, thank you very much. 39 points, Reggie Miller. How have you managed to do this so many times over the years?
Well, like I said, I've been blessed to play with one organization for 18 years. You know, Donnie Walsh and Larry Bird and management have done a great job of always keeping great players surrounded around me. I know we're shorthanded this year without Ron, without Jermaine, without Jamal. Someone has to step up, and I've been here the longest, I guess, by default. So I'm just trying to struggle and get us into the playoffs some kind of way.
Reggie, what's it like for you mentally, knowing you could play at this level, but now you've put a finite period of time left to it?
Well, it's no pressure. I know I can still play in this game for 2 or 3 more years, but this organization and these group of young players that are here are ready to take the next step and the next challenge. And I never want to get in the way of production and improvement. And sometimes I feel I hinder to that. So it's time for me to move on and let these guys really mature and develop as good young talent as they are.
Donnie Walsh said he'd like to try and talk you out of this. Would you be willing?
Nope, won't happen.
What will you do now to ensure and to help this team make it into playoffs in the final 18 games?
Well, you know, we got to continue to move the basketball. Obviously, Steven Jackson and myself is the scoring load right now, but we got to find one more person. Hopefully when Jamal comes back, he can be that guy.
Reggie, thank you. Congratulations tonight.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, back to you, Mike.
Jim, thank you. Reggie Miller, in career game 1,371, gives us one more treat. A season-high 39 points. A complete show from Reggie here on the night. Friday Night Fights is coming up next on ESPN2 with Tom Tolbert and Jim Gray, Mike Tirico. Glad you were with us in the basketball capital of the USA, downtown Indianapolis, to watch a treasure put on another show. Reggie and the Pacers beat the Lakers by 6, and here's Stan Barrett.